Fear Street Part 1, 1994, dropped on Netflix last Friday, and I'm late to the party on this one. There's a couple reasons for that. Last Friday, there was a lot of movies that came out. On Hulu, we had Summer of Soul, which was this great music documentary that I'd highly recommend for, which I have a review for. And then we had all the Disney Plus content that came out. And then we also had on Amazon Prime Tomorrow War. So I was kind of focused more on that stuff last Friday to drop a review for this. But I also, when I was hearing about this R.L. Stine book adaptation trilogy of movies, I thought, okay, so you're making a trilogy of movies. That's one thing. But then they announced that the trilogy of movies is all dropping within the same month, one right after another, and I barely understood what these movies were, and so I just kind of went, I'm gonna pass, and I didn't watch it. But then I started hearing some good things, and I was like, you know what, I probably should just watch the first one and see if I like it, and if I like it, I'll review the other ones. I'm a big horror guy. Why am I like so hesitant to this trilogy? I don't know. I really shouldn't be. So I watched it, and it was pretty good. Pretty solid movie. It reminded me of something like Scream. The Scream movie, like kind of just a 90s type horror slasher movie with a bunch of unknowns who are all in this movie. And it's what makes this movie so good is the pace to it. It is a really quick, snappy pace, like to the whole thing. There is no wasted time. I was constantly engaged with this movie. This kind of feels like a PG-13 horror movie. It's not a PG-13 horror movie. It's an R, but it felt like one. And so it kind of made those kind of gruesome kills that are really bad, like really brutal kills, all the more shocking and surprising. And I wouldn't say I'm scared, but I would say with most slasher movies, you're not usually scared. You're usually just having a good time, and that's what makes like a good slasher movie. You enjoy watching Michael Myers kill. There are some that are scary, like, I'm sure like the original Halloween was scary for its time. I'm sure, it was, but I don't think it much is anymore. Nightmare on Elm Street is actually pretty scary, but for the most part they're kind of just dumb movies, dumb fun horror movies, and they the best thing they can do is move at a quick pace, have some gruesome kills, and be enjoyable. And I think that this movie was that. It didn't waste a lot of time on useless bullcrap. It was just kind of this quick little movie, went by, I had a good time, and I would rewatch this movie again, which is pretty interesting to say, because I rarely ever feel that with Netflix movies. I rarely ever am like, yeah, I'll watch that again. I'm like, usually, no, that's not a thing. And in fact, there's actually been, people have been researching why that is, why so much people are not engaged with Netflix movies to where they ever want to rewatch them or talk about them compared to big Hollywood movies. Well, my opinion on that, most Netflix movies are forgettable, and streaming isn't really a thing that should ever be used for movies for the most part, because it's cool to watch a movie on there, but what you have to understand is that like a TV show can drop week to week. That's how all TV should be dropped. I know people disagree with me on that, but a movie can't really do that, because then you watch it once and the conversation's over. When you're having to go to the theater with other people and be social, then you're talking, and that's the difference. That's why I think that's thing. But that's my little rant. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Tomorrow, part 2 comes out. I will be talking about part 2 because why not? I really enjoyed this part, and I'm excited to talk about it. And and I will talk about part 3 when it comes out. So sorry I was late to the party on this one. Didn't have many good expectations going into it, but I had a great time.